about war, that conflict. Let's continue. Nation shall rise against nation. What else? And kingdoms against kingdoms. And there shall be what? What does the famine represent? Talk to me in the Bible. Two great parts of famines. What are the two great parts? Food. What else? And water. But then we found all that really is just what? It's just the resources, the natural resources that do what? The natural resources that sustain life. Then he says, next verse, or continue on the reading, famines and pestilences and what else? Earthquakes. And that verse, by these earthquakes, is it just talking about the earthquakes on land? Does it include the earthquakes on land? Yes. But is it just the earthquakes on land? No. What is it talking about? Any disruption in air or land or sea. It's talking about storms. That, in fact, if you go to the Bible and take that word that's translated earthquake, you can take that the original word that's translated and go to a text where Jesus said there was a storm on the lake. That was the same word for earthquake. It just means storms, and it's translated in different places. You can take your Greek concordance or your Strong concordance and do that. And you actually see that it's any storm, whether it's sea, land, or earth. And so it was really talking about an environmental devastation, or what today can be called what? Climate change. And so my brothers and sisters, this verse told us this. Is it happening? Yes or no? Yes. Is it happening? Yes. What's the next thing? After it says earthquakes, before that, we skip that word pestilence. Is pestilence taking place? Yes or no? Yes. What is a pestilence? What is a pestilence? A disease, a plague, a disease. Now, was Jesus talking about a little local epidemic? No. How do we know? He's talking about the conditions that are going to come upon which are the signs that are coming in the end of Jerusalem only. The end of the... So now he's dealing with these things. In order for it to be signs of the end, it has to be signs that get world attention. That's why the war would be a world war. And we have a war, a world war. So if we look at this, and so we will see the famines, it will be worldwide. We're going to see this picking up. And do you know that the United Nations say there's not enough food? 80% of the world don't have food right now. Mercy. You say, well, I have food. It's because America is consuming more. You know that America consumes more energy, more water, more food than the rest of the world combined. Mercy. So over 300 million people, just less than 400 million people are using more resources than the rest of the 7 billion people. That's a problem with that. And it's getting ready to cause a problem. So we see this. Then, brothers and sisters, we found that as we look at this, 2020 was the ordinary year. We saw the CIA report predicts that America's global dominance can end in what? 15 years. 2005 plus 15 is what? So this is not something that just started matriculating. I showed you an article yesterday that went back to 1972. And they pointed forward to 2020. We started showing that all the economists and the anthropologists and the historian, and we'll go through probably before the end, and showing every field of knowledge, they all tell us the same thing. But what I want us to do is see what Jesus tells us. Now, he said in verse 8, when you see all these things, all these are the end. Is that what he said? No. So he's talking about the end, but he says all these are the end. Wait a minute then. If he's talking about the end, but says when you see these, you see the beginning, what is he talking about? The beginning of the end. That's right. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. So Jesus is not talking about the time of the end, 1798. He's talking about the beginning of the end. And he says, I'm not going to give you a date. He said, what I'm going to do is give you some events so that if you see them, you will know when you got to the beginning of the end. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. So if someone come around and tell you, oh, no, beginning of the end is 1798, you tell them, no, you got to study the Bible by every word. That's not right. Every sentence. My teacher taught me just what the Bible says, every word. And so my brothers and sisters, when we look back at this, we begin to start saying, did we see all of these happen at one time? Before this time? No. Guess where we see all of the conversion? 2020. So then what is the only thing you can say? Pastor, is it the beginning of the end? Teacher? When you see these things? No.